Hello, thank you for taking the time to watch this performance. In this one, I wanted to try to use Plaits as two voices. And so on the aux output, you have the bass notes, and on the main output, you have the chords, which in this case was a fifth interval. Plaits note is controlled by the Q-nexus and the rhythm from my bass drum. But in order to have these two voices sound a bit more individual, I had different envelopes on each, and both of them had different probability of being triggered by the bass drum. The bass note had a very high chance of being triggered at the same time as the kick, so it was almost constant. And then the chords were sometimes. Sometimes it's at the same time, sometimes it will just be the kick, so the chord can breathe a bit more over the rest of the music. In this setup, I was also sending my voice to Data Bender, which was pitched up an octave and glitched. And specific to this setup, I used the mono out of the performance mixer in order to send sound of the whole system to Arbor, and that was being pitched up and also affected by the bass drum triggering capture and playback and going back into the system. Doing it this way makes me able to affect the whole sound of the system through Arbor, or at least use the whole global sound of the system as a sound source for Arbor. I think that sums up the modular setup. So bass drum sends trigger to probability module. It's split into 4 voices. 2 of those were controlling 2 voices in Plaits, the bass notes and the chords. The chords come out a bit less often than the bass notes. This goes back into the performance mixer. My voice goes into Data Bender. Data Bender goes back into the performance mixer. The whole sound of the performance mixer goes into Arbor. It goes back into the mixer. Some of these are routed to the reverb to add some ambience, and then goes directly out to my computer. Something special to note in the drum setup is the 48-inch steel cymbal gong. It's a cymbal I made a few years ago from a sheet of metal that I hammered and cut. It sounds like a plate reverb. It's very deep, like a sound. It's very scary to set up on a cymbal stand because I'm always scared it will fall down on my drum set, but it sounds good, and I think in this context it was cool. And maybe one last thing, the way I had set up the envelopes for the voices in the system, I tried to make it sound as if the bass drum was sidechaining the whole thing, so it wasn't a direct attack for any voices. It was always a bit delayed, so it would pump in and out around the drums. So that's it for this setup. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Thank you again for watching this video. I wish you a nice day. Thank you.